Hey guys, Jeremiah with Steps Pressure Washing and more. We're about to go do two houses. We've got a gutter clean with a house wash and then a house wash right after that. We're going to be trying out two new items today that we are adding to the truck. The number one thing is this 32 foot. I'm going to turn you around. We have this 32 foot Werner ladder we got last week. A client called us and said, yeah, if you want it, you can come have it. Somebody left it at my house and it was in pretty rough shape. I gave it a good cleanup. I added the stabilizer up here, and I put a new rope on it, rope and pulley, so it is ready to rock and roll. Did have a little bit of an issue. I did not do the continuous rope because it was not how I found it. Didn't do the continuous rope, and that's basically where you tie it to the same rung with both ends of the cord, and I just had it on the bottom rung on one side and the bottom rung on the other side, and as soon as I lifted it and pulled back on it, it just kept going, and I ended up doing a little bit of damage to some outdoor chairs here, so it is going to definitely lesson learned on that. So I'm not going to be doing that type of rope system anymore. It is the continuous or nothing. And I've also got my 24 on here. That's the equalizer with the extension feet. The house we're doing today is a 2-story, and anytime I do a 2-story now, I'm going to bring the 32 foot along just because I want to make sure that I can reach everything I need to safely. 1-stories, I'll probably just use the 24, but if I cannot reach it with the 24, I want to have the 32 on the truck. Alright, now this other thing is we added a Suttner ST-2305. This also came in yesterday. I added the quick connects on here. I know, Jerry, I need to get a 6-inch lance, and I will double check with the pressure washing store when I go there today to fill up some buckets. But just for today, we're going to try this out. This is to replace our ST-2605, which has developed a leak. It was coming out of the front, which is no good because you can actually burn out your pump because your unloader won't trigger if you've got some continuous flow. So I definitely want to make sure that we are keeping the pump safe. And this was only like, I think, 35 or 40 bucks. And I already had the quick connects just in the truck. So it was a pretty easy and simple order off Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description, and I'll do a kind of a first day review at the end of the video just to see how it did. But so far it's got a pretty easy trigger, which is why I picked it up, and we will see how it does. Let's get out there and do it. All right, we're out on house number 1, and you can see from here there's some stuff growing in these gutters. You might actually not be able to see that, but this whole house has growth in the gutters. It's been a few years since it was cleaned last. Pretty much one straight shot here in the back, and 2 in the front. I'm very glad that I brought the 32 out because my 24 I've got set up here over the garage, but the 32 I've got set up here on this high corner. This is probably the highest corner of the house, and 24 hit that window, and I needed a few extra feet to be able to do this safely. So I've got it set up, ready to go. I'm going to go clean the debris out here. Alright, so here we go up on the highest peak. Got a good bit of stuff here in the corner, but this right here is what we're really needing to get out. A good bit of growth. So it's been a couple years since these were last cleaned out. Client said he had these gutter downspout protectors installed. So we're going to be working around these, and still going to verify that the downspout is working before we leave. Alright, right here in the front of the house, right above the doorway, there appears to be several missing and or broken gutter brackets. I can see down here where there's a double up. It looks like somebody attempted to repair at some point, but we are definitely holding water in this section right here, and we are not closer down to the downspout, so it is definitely sagging from the lack of proper support. Alright, we're getting ready to start washing on this one. This here is the north side, quite a bit of buildup. A lot of shade here on the back. I've gone ahead and done the tape on the door locks. And the gutter system here is either failing or completely failed in every area. We'll discuss that with the client, but for right now, I got them cleaned out. And I'm going to get this whole thing washed. Pretty high peak here on the wooded side. That should be no issue with the M5 Duo. And my first use of the 32-foot ladder is, it is phenomenal until you have to move it. So I'm going to have to adjust my pricing for anything that I have to use that 32 for. Is going to have an additional charge, just difficulty in moving and time consuming. Alright, I'm going to get this thing washed up. Alright, so first squeeze on the ST-2305 was pretty non-impressive, I guess. It really just kind of, it clicked right away. There was no force, there was no fight in any way, shape, or form. I'm noticing it's pretty easy to hold on to, no real pullback on it. The 2605 was pretty darn good too, so it's hard to compare, but I'm definitely going to say that this one has a little bit less pullback on it, which I'm really liking. But we'll see how it goes for the rest of the day. A pretty impressive peak right here. Kind of operating downhill. Let's see where we go. Yeah. Nice. No issue getting to the top on this one. Make sure I've got it good and saturated before I let it dwell. Nice to actually work in the shade a little bit today. It's about 65. And 65 in shade is pretty darn nice when you are working and getting hot and sweaty. There's a fence there. Things that happen when you're looking up. Alright, so a couple sides in on this one. I'm definitely thinking that the 2305, I had to check and see which one this was. 2305 does a great job of staying open without fight. Unfortunately, I only have 2 wash jobs today, so it's not going to be like a marathon of trigger holding, but that's okay. Next time I have a 3-4 house day, I'm sure this thing is going to come in absolutely phenomenal. It is not like the end of the world better than the 2605. I actually purchased the 2605 because it had a reduced trigger pull. So this is just maybe a slightly more upgraded version of it. It was pretty cheap though. Like, I'm a little bit concerned with longevity. If you guys use the 2305 and you had good experiences with it, let me know. If you've had bad experiences with it, let me know that too. Alright, so the second job ended up having to reschedule today, but we did one house with this, and so far not a huge difference between the ST-2305 and our ST-2605 that we've been using for the past 3 years. But I'll also say we've been using the other one for the past 3 years, so if this is even as good as that one, I would say 100% I want to continue using this. It does have a little bit of an easier trigger hold, but I would say the 2305, yeah, I definitely like it. I will let you guys know in a week or two after I've used it for a little while how I like it, but So far, first impression, very good. I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up and go get some dinner. You guys be safe out there.